Hello, everyone, and a good day. My name is Asma Lataybi. Today, I'm hosting the webinar, Women in Procurement. I'm the Vice Chair of CIPS Saudi Arabia, and today I'm hosting Fatima Belfaqi from UAE and Abir Abu Sada from Palestine. We have Abir Abu Sada. She has a master's degree in water and environmental engineer and over 15 years experience in procurement. And also she's a MCIPS in Palestine. Also, we have Fatima. She has over 2 decades in procurement as well. And she's a legal counsel in Raqqa. And also she's an FCIPS. Welcome to today's webinar, ladies, and welcome to the... Okay, so we have a few questions. We're interviewing the ladies. Welcome to today's webinar, and thank you for making the time for us to share your experience in procurement and advice that you may share to the ladies and all professionals in the region. Starting with you, Abir, welcome, and I will...
Thank you, Asma, for being one of the panelists of our CIPS MENA webinar. Actually, as you introduced me, I'm Abir Abu Sada, a Palestinian dedicated civil engineer, holding master's degree in water and environmental engineering. I'm a mother of two boys and one girl. My kids and husband are the CEO of my life, actually. And I would like to be all the time motivated and inspire them to be like a role model for them. As an accomplished and skilled procurement expert with over 15 years of experience working with development international agencies in the West Bank and Gaza, in-depth knowledge of the global financing institutions, various donors and private sectors related to MENA region work. Also, and a mobilized of hundreds of dollars for business development projects, emergency response projects, and a large and complicated infrastructure projects targeting vital sectors in the state of Palestine.
Okay. That's so great, actually. Abir, what motivates you, what inspires you and make you happy in this field?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I feel motivated for doing everything to the high standards, on time, also achieving my goals, continuous improvement and personal growth. And I feel when related to your question to what inspires me, actually, when I see successful women who shown strength to face and overcome huge challenges in the heads-on in their life or work, that would remind me of my own ability to carry on difficult things. What makes me happy, bring success for the organization or the company that I'm working on and make a difference.
It's good to hear that, Abir. Thank you. Hi, Fatima.
Helene, hi, Asma.
Hello, hi. Tell us about yourself, Fatima, the person that we don't know. What is your background? What's your experience?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to thank the CIPS MENA team for this kind invitation. I am very delighted to be a part of it. It's the first time I also get to know Abir and Asma, and it's always a delight in those platforms to meet like-minded women as well and be inspired from them as well. My name is Fatima Belfaqi. I have a dual specialization. I've spent more than 15, 16 years in government and semi-government entities, leading contracts and procurement departments, mainly in the construction field. facilities management, asset management, marina management, and everything that comes within the ecosystem of the built environment. My background in studies was finance. And then as I have gotten myself more and more involved within the contracts field, I grew a passion of understanding the legal aspect of our work in procurement, managing claims, managing disputes, and that led into me deciding to add to my arsenal the legal background as well. So I decided to pursue arbitration and mediation professionally, in addition to gaining my Bachelor of Law. And hopefully in few months, I will also be a qualified lawyer in the UAE.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, thank you. Also, recently I became a fellow of CIPS, which was a big achievement for me, which I was also delighted for. What inspires me and keeps me motivated, like Abir have said, setting a good role model for my kids, giving back to my country and my emirate, sharing my knowledge. I became even a stronger advocate to dispute avoidance through a best practice of procurement. So I really believe in that, and I keep advocating for it. And yeah, it just, once you have that inner passion about something that you really truly believe in, you don't need to keep asking yourself what motivates me. You feel like there is a fire burning within, and it keeps pushing you, to do better and be better.
Yeah, maybe you're ambitious by nature. I always wanted to be a lawyer, actually, but I went to public policy field, and now I'm in procurement field, which is like I love, and I will continue my career all in procurement. Okay, how did you choose the procurement, Abir?
Actually, there are many reasons why I'm working in procurement industry. First of all, for me, it's exciting. I can see the procurement can add value for the organization we are working on. And also it's now a strategic business driver. The second thing for why I'm working in procurement industry, like it's a multi-skilled, and procurement professional can gain incredible competencies and capabilities targeting vital sectors in the business world. Third thing is a partnership. Procurement professional can build strong partnership at internal level, and also a successful partnership at external level. The last thing, I love procurement. It requires passionate people, actually.
Exactly, it's quite challenging, actually, and also it requires from us to know everything about all business units, all the demand. You explore new things. And do you find it boring sometimes? How boring you find procurement?
As a procurement professional over a period of time, I can't see procurement as boring. Procurement for me, I can see it like as a backbone of a successful company, and procurement professional create like a unique competitive advantage, and also increase the cost, the efficiency of the operations. So I can't see it boring anymore.
Okay, what makes it interesting then?
For me, I see like procurement hits directly the area of innovation, leadership, creative and strategic thinking when it comes to like a new product with a new market, and also driving business performance and meeting and achieving the results. So it never be boring. I want to encourage all young females or fresh graduate students to be engaged more in procurement and supply chain industry, as a lot of opportunity will be open for them.
Okay. What about you, Fatima? How did you choose the procurement?
I would say procurement chose me. I didn't seek out procurement. Similar to a lot of people within my age group, and we will not say which age group that is, we stumble across procurement. You know, I got there by chance, but what a great chance, I would say. I used to work in accounts payable and project accounts payable initially, since my studies were in finance. And then again, because I've always have been interested in the contractual side of things, I started like asking a bit more, understanding a bit more, and then there was an opening within a procurement team. And I remember my first boss, and I'm still in touch with him, such a great mentor. I told him, I have no idea how procurement is. And he said, I'll just ask you a very simple question. When you go and buy something new from the market, do you go and choose the first thing that you look at? Go like, no. He said, you go and choose a few things and you keep comparing. He's like, yeah. And he was like, that's technical specifications. And then you study, analyze it. I was like, yeah. He's like, that's technical evaluation. And then he said, you then compare the prices, right? I was like, yep. He's like, that's commercial evaluation. And then you choose one, right? I was like, yeah. And he was like, that's the award. So he said, he simplified it for me. And he's like, you do that day in, day out without you knowing. And by him simplifying the concept of it, and once you know what's the fundamental reason of it, then you start like, you know, upscaling it or downscaling it. Now, when it comes to if I find procurement boring, I think it's a question on how you view or practice procurement. If you are purely looking at it from a tactical point of view, PR, PO, I'll process transactions all day. Of course, it will be boring. But once you consider yourself as a consultant within your function, within your organization, and a subject matter expert in the policies and procedures, in what you're doing, in the area of procurement that you're handling. And as Abir have said, procurement has so many facets. You can specialize in warehousing, you can specialize in logistics, you can specialize in vendor management, and in sourcing and contract management. There are so many specializations. Whatever it is that you're finding yourself in, if you just look at it as, I am the expert in this manner, in this matter, and I will develop myself in, then immediately it stops becoming boring and it becomes a very exciting job.
Yeah. Do you think procurement has influenced your life? Has a change in your personal life?
Absolutely. Even like when we have an occasion in the family, suddenly I find the family sending me requests of scope of work, of finding the best vendor for catering and the best vendor for lighting and the best vendor for, so procurement girl through and through in professional life and in personal life, for sure.
That's so great. So what about you, Abir? Do you think procurement influenced your personal life?
Yeah, for sure. You know, but you know, sometimes because we are girls, when doing shopping, we don't pick like the least cost or the something that is the lowest cost. Okay, it's nice. It's what you need. So halas, you will pick it and buy it.
Yeah, you think it's in our DNA, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Abir, as a woman, what's been your greatest challenge and opportunity? Like in life and work.
Yeah, actually, this question reminds me of my story over the past 10 years ago. I was working in governmental sector and public sector as a civil engineer. All the time, I wasn't comfortable. I talked to myself, this is a temporary job, and I need like to add, or I should to add international best practices to my career journey. One day, I have received offer from international organization. At that time, I was 7 months pregnant woman and master degree student. So no one, my family, colleagues, friends, encouraged me to accept the offer because, you know, after 2 months, I'm going to my maternity leave. So how come you have a very secure job in public and you are going to short-term contract with long working hours, considering my situation? So, I was, at that time, I was able to think independently, and I feel this is the right decision. And I need to pick up this decision because I believe that this will be like my first steps in my career success stairs. So yeah, I changed my job and I accepted the offer. And I was so lucky with this step because I continued my career journey with international organizations. So for me, this story, when I told to anyone about my story, how I was pregnant, 7 months pregnant, a master's degree, and accepted offer for me, what? Why? Why did you do that? So for me, this was like challenging and at the same time opportunity because this step as working with international has opened for me many doors, and I continue my career journey with international organizations.
Yeah, this is so challenging, actually. Yeah, you're a very strong woman then.
Yeah.
So what about you, Fatima? What is your greatest challenge and opportunity?
The greatest challenge and opportunity, they're together in the same event as usually they are. In 2018, I've decided to leave a very stable government job and start my own consultancy firm, which is a legal firm and a business consultancy firm at the same time. It was a very challenging time, very difficult time. I've just also in 2018, I've had a baby similar to Abir. We choose the best timings, I think, for the new baby. I think we're not thinking straight and more susceptible to challenge, and we're like, yeah, it's fine, it's going to be okay. And I just went for it. It was honestly one of the in hindsight, one of the scariest decisions I've had to do, but also it made sense because if it wasn't then, it would be never, I felt like I had a certain window of time. If I waited a bit longer, I wouldn't want to leave my job. And alhamdulillah, after around 4 years at the end of this year, my company will have spent 4 years very profitable, we're expanding, we're doing very well. We have built a name and a brand to ourselves. Alhamdulillah, I'm able to stay true to what I believe in, which is advocating for the importance of procurement and advocating for avoiding disputes altogether and resolving disputes as much as we can outside the courts, traditional courts. So yeah, it was my biggest challenge and my biggest opportunity as well.
Okay, it's great to hear this. You are an MSIPS, Fatima. Okay, do you think the title has an impact, making it different, and how?
When I think in 2017 or 18, I've decided to take my MSIPS. And the way I was thinking about it is, as long as like I was working 15, 16 years before in procurement, I wanted a certificate to commemorate or solidify the experience that I had beforehand. In order to give me more authority and more credibility in the market when I want to advise the clients as well. So I decided to proceed and take my MSIPS, which alhamdulillah was a success. After that, this year, I've also decided to proceed ahead and again pursue my fellowship. So I also did that, and it kind of added and further solidify my status as a procurement expert. I kind of like, now that I took the MSIPS, I wish that I have attempted to take it before, or I was serious about attempting to take it before, because I can see how it can help, especially younger generation, to not only know best practices internationally, bring them up to speed to the whole supply chain and not only one aspect of procurement that they can gain from actual work. So it only, I can only recommend it, highly recommended also, to not only existing or advanced professional practitioners within the procurement, but also, and even more importantly, to younger employees as well.
Okay, well, what about you, Abir? You are also MSEPS. What the title makes it different and how?
Yeah, definitely. I was motivated to pursue MSEPS through MER. For me, I believe like the combination between the education and the experience that I had over the past years, MSEPS, it was for me the best channel for obtaining this certificate, or I can call it like a unique certificate. So MSEPS was for me recognized the things that I have done over the past years. So I believe if you should do anything, you should do it to high standards and in accordance to best practices. So I think MSEPS has a lot of more fundamental approaches and tools using global standards besides using best practice concepts. So after achieving MSEPS, make difference for two dimensions. First one, better organization in terms of enhancing the efficiency of procurement and supply chain for the organization I'm working on, and enhancing all the activities. The second thing, or the second dimension, I can see because I have felt the gap in my committee due to the absence of CIPS certified professionals. We don't have anyone in Palestine who hold the certificate. Moreover, I can see also MSEPS will open for me, will allow me to grow in my career at international level, and will open the door for me for better networking and thinking what are the next steps of my career journey. So this is why MSEPS is so important for me.
Yeah, it's so great to hear this from you, ladies, with this good experience that you are having for the past years. As a leader, Abir, what, with your long experience, what is the three things that you look in your team or in young professionals in this field?
Yeah, good team spirit. It's important for the team. Committed, work smarter than harder. Because you need results, spending more than time doing things without results. So results for me, very important. Yeah, three things.
Okay. What about you, Fatima? What do you, with this experience, three things that you look in your team or your young professional?
I highly agree with Abir, but I will also add, and this is something that I live by as well. We can always enhance our technical knowledge, right? We can always invest in our technical knowledge, but the fundamental soft skills within us and our overview on how we conduct ourselves at work, it is far more important. So I usually look at somebody who have been proactive in even their education. You know, if it's a fresh graduate, I always encourage fresh graduates, please take extracurricular activities. Please get involved in voluntarily work, because it demonstrates what kind of person you are to future employers. I look at somebody who, to be honest, I also advocate for like equality within my team. So I'll hire as much as I can a fair number of males and females within my team, not all males and not all females, in order to have that balance as well. So that is a very, very important. Somebody who wants to go that extra mile, and it really shines through a CV. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but there is this proactiveness throughout their CV, and also for sure when you interview them as well.
Okay, that's so great. What is your failures, promotions? What is your description of job satisfaction?
For me?
Yes, for you.
So for me, I would
I'm sure
say,
everyone went through failures and success for sure. So
like I have to say, like I have my own fair share of failures, and every time I fail at something, I go like I need to be humbled and understand that I won't be successful in everything I do, but also be you fail upwards. So you'll do the mistake, you will learn from what mistake you have done, and you will avoid to do it again, or you will try another way for it. I certainly tried to open other businesses before, and I failed dramatically. I would say, only miserably. I've attempted MSIPS once in the most like when I was like really busy at work and I didn't really study. I took the self study route, failed in all the exams, and I was like, I'm gonna attempt all the exams in 2 days, and like scheduled all the exams behind each other like a crazy person, and failed in all of them. And I was like, okay, I need to study for this one. It's not just, you cannot wing it, you know. And also, like I would say, like there's a lot of like mini failures. I've felt like in the job, like I would say in job satisfaction, there was a certain job that I was in, I felt like I stopped learning, and I'm doing this exact same thing day in, day out, where procurement became boring. So I was like, what am I adding? What am I learning? And I found the answer was nothing. So I had to move on and go somewhere where I will learn even more. And I challenge myself. But again, as you said, like there is something, there is no right or wrong way, but it's how I like to conduct myself. I like to always challenge myself and learn a little bit more.
it's great to hear this. As some of people are typing now, it's lesson learned more than it's failure. So it's a normal to fail in certain stage in our career life, but we learn from this lesson, and when we move forward. What is your advice for procurement community from your experience? Abir, yes.
Abir or Fatima?
Sorry, Fatima, sorry. What is your advice from your failure, success, your story that you shared?
I would say two things. One is a piece of advice I took from my mom, and the other one is a piece of advice that I took from my dad. So the advice from my mom was, and moms are always right, and I keep telling my kids that, when I wanted to take my LLB, when I wanted to take my bachelor in law, I went to her and I was like, sometimes, like the first semester, I felt like I'm so old and everybody's so young, and like I'm there with a bunch of 18 and 19-year-old, and I was like, I felt like a grandma. And I went to her and I was like, I'm not sure. I'm like, I want to do this, and is it too late? And she said, how old are you going to be when you graduate? And at that time, I told her I'll graduate around like 38 years old. And she said, you're going to be 38 anyway. So are you going to stop yourself, or are you going to do something until you become 38? I was like, you're absolutely right. And I just proceeded. The second advice I got from my dad, like, again, I was challenging myself, and I got my certification as a mediator. And I remember one day I was exhausted, and I came straight to their house, and I was in bits. And he was like, what's wrong? I was like, I'm tired. I don't know if this is worth it or not. And he said, if it's not hard, then everybody would have done it. You're going through something that only you chose to do, and that will differentiate you from anyone else. So if you want to be differentiated, sometimes it's going to be a little bit tough, but it's going to absolutely be worth it at the end.
This is so great, Abir. Fatima, thank you so much. Abir, what is the failure, promotion, and job satisfaction?
Yeah, as mentioned, Fatima, from my point of view, we don't fail. We learn lessons learned from our accumulated knowledge, depending on experience and practices. For promotions, I will advise everyone, don't limit your dream, maximize your dream. Keep going and love what you do and ask yourself, what is next? For also keep energetic and motivated to do the things that you love. For me, I think energetic and motivation are the key success of excellence. Also, for job satisfaction, I think we create our job satisfaction. Love what you do, believe what you do. Also, make sure during your career journey you are in the right place at the right time. And also, I would advise everyone, take your time before jumping to conclusion.
Yeah, this is a great one. Okay, so what is your advice for new joiners, for the young now that are starting their career in procurement?
Because our universities or college here in Palestine, we don't have like a specialized curriculum for procurement. So I would highly encourage them to be engaged more in procurement and supply chain industry, as it will open for them a great opportunities. As mentioned, as Fatima mentioned, most of people look to the procurement. It's like PR and BO. No, procurement is directly many skills. You will gain incredible skills targeting vital sectors. If you want to doing procurement for health supply, for example, it will different if you want to build houses. Much different if you want to buy like consultancy service for strategic thinking, or if you want to bring lawyer for your company. So yeah, procurement hits various sectors. So I highly encourage everyone to go for procurement field.
Okay, thank you, Abir and Fatima, for that. We will have some questions now. Actually, it was a great advice for both of you ladies. Myself, I took the opportunity to learn from you as well. So we will give it time for question and answer. We have a question here. The global economic forum and gender pay mostly identify issue to do with women. How you overcome this and what is your advice? Sounds interesting question.
I would say, and again, my take is always a bit controversial about this thing. If we start viewing ourselves as, in a disadvantage, then we will be in a disadvantage. Yes, there are difficult situations. We cannot deny reality, but we have to also create the opportunities for ourselves. I have found it extremely beneficial and very, very fruitful when I actually network with other women. We start creating opportunities for each other. We start putting, choose the women that will actually mention your name in a room filled with opportunities. Make sure that you do the same for somebody else. And things will start paying forward. You pay it forward, somebody will pay it forward to you as well. So it's like a very positive cycle instead of it becoming a vicious cycle. But if we keep saying that we're in a disadvantage, we are going to be in a disadvantage. I don't know if that helps or not.
Okay, what about you, Abir?
Yeah, I don't believe in skipping steps in actually or being handed opportunities. I do believe that we should seek for opportunities and grab those opportunities in a positive way. So as a woman, we don't want to be like a stereotype. There are some limited roles are linked to women, like administrative work, and you can do this and you can do that. So we don't want to look to the let's say to something linked to women. So I would encourage all of them, just do what you want to do and what you are looking and what you can see yourself after a couple of years. So try to overcome all challenges.
Okay, thank you for answering this question. Also, we have other question here. I think it's important for everyone. Any suggestion how can we support to change the mindset of stakeholders viewing procurement function as a business partner, not as a support function? I think this is all procurement professional questions.
I love this. I was like, I'm hoping that you're going to ask it. Can I, Abir, please?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Please create small success stories with the stakeholders. Go to them, understand their pain point, because each end user has a pain point. Just go there and act like a therapist and go like, what is bothering you today? You know, me, procurement, I am your superhero. I will help you, okay? And start creating those small support service success stories. And trust me, before you know it, it's a lot of work. Before you know it, those same stakeholders are the ones who are going to advocate for you. Once you look at yourself as the subject matter expert, as the consultant within your organization, stakeholders are going to view you as such. Give them solutions, don't give them policies, procedures. Policies or procedures are your playground. It's not their playground. They don't care. They want their thing done, right? So you tell them, don't worry about policy procedure. It's my job to adhere to it. What do you need in order for you to do your job? Because that's all what they care about. Yes, you're going to adhere to your policies and procedures, but you're not going to show them. You're not going to bother them with that. So it creates small success stories. It works. It worked for me throughout my career. And it's really a very strong secret recipe.
Thank you for that, Fatima. What about you, Abir? What do you think? How?
Yeah, as I mentioned, procurement can add much value for the company that we are working for or working on. So all the cross-functional units or departments see the procurement are obstacles. Oh, I don't want to go to the procurement department because they want to ask 1, 2, 3, 4. This is impossible. We can't do that. You know, all of them. So they try to avoid procurement. But no, the procurement is now a strategic business driver. The procurement also can impact business performance, go to buy-in to cost saving. So we are here to help you, not to make your life. We want to make your life easy, not to make to complicate your life. So yeah, procurement can help the organization for better performance and meeting incredible results.
Exactly. As a procurement professional, we need to be more, like we need to support. We need to make sure the business continuity, not showstopper as other business units maybe call us. So we are supporting them. So we make a successful story, good relationship with our stakeholders, or they are our main clients.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, the procurement professional can build a strong relationship at internal level and successful partnership at external level. So if we understand our business needs, I'm sure that the business performance and the results will be incredible.
Exactly. Okay, we have also another question here, because we all based in different countries. Does the procurement cycle different in each country or all standard according to your experience?
Yeah. Procurement cycle, whatever it's for, let's say, if we wanted to procure goods or service or works, it's the same. And it's according to the global standards. But, you know, for simple works, let's say if you want to purchase like IT equipment, so it will go, the procurement process is less than if you want to build or complicated large infrastructure projects. So each procurement activity depends on the nature and complexity of the activity that you want to procure. But all of them in the same cycle.
Okay.
I think this question has two folds. First of all, of course, there are going to be some nuanced differences depending on the laws pertaining to procurement from one country to one country. However, there is a best practice similar to what CIPS teaches, right? So there is an international best practice that everybody more or less are operating within. I would say the main difference that happens is not the nuanced difference. I would say the overall how to procure difference. It is from industry to industry. So the way that, for example, food industry procures is a little bit different than the way that manufacturing, car manufacturing industry procures, or government. There is no, there is like general norms that we all know, but the nuances, so the devil is in the details, so the details might differ a little bit. The way that a government entity will procure is a little bit different than the way that a private sector will procure. So those differences, they really are nuanced to the way that the organization wants to work. But I've spoken to professionals from all over the MENA region, international, everybody has the same general consensus about how procurement works. I hope that answered the question.
Oh, excellent answer, Fatima and Abir. From your experience, what value has procurement add to any organization or your organization? For example, like Abir, the place where you work. So how?
For example, process improvements. When I have moved from, I was like 12 years working with International Development Agency. Then I changed my job going to private sector. As mentioned, Fatima, private sector have some policy and procedures like different from international organization. But you need here, when you create value, make a difference and improve the process by doing like business process re-engineering. Make sure that you are achieving you're achieving the results that your stakeholders or the companies they are looking for, and make a difference and making like best value for money that we are looking for. If you are working in international organization or if you are working private sector, at the end of the day, all of them care about the value of money and make a profit. For example, for private sector, they are caring to make a profit, regardless what you do in procurement. But you need to focus to be in line with best practice and international and achieving the good results for them.
Okay. Thank you for that, Abir. What about you, Fatima? What do you think the value that procurement could add to organization?
Honestly, it's a lot. I'll stay brief because there's a lot of questions as well. Cost savings, avoiding costs, not cost savings from the budget, but avoiding also costs. Innovation, research and innovation, you can be a great driver as procurement for research and innovation, partnering up with suppliers as well, bringing new technology there. It's limitless, honestly. Interfering within your, finding a new, more efficient way, pushing for sustainability, pushing for environmental conscious decisions through supply chain management. So it's really a lot.
Exactly. Thank you for that. And also, we have this question here. Being in your position, how did you overcome the disruption during the COVID period? And how do you overcome the supply chain disruption that we are experiencing now?
I think
during COVID and now again, I think it's getting to normal now, but still we are facing difficulties in the supply chain.
Do you want to start? Well,
no, it's okay if you would like to start.
I think there was at one point before COVID, there was a push towards efficiency in supply chain. Now you hear that there is another word coming in. Before it was globalization, efficiency, how to make things more efficient. Now you hear it, not globalization, actually regionalization, which is a very big key for supply chain sustainability, and to agility of the supply chain rather than efficiency. Because efficiency, that means, getting the best thing for the least amount of cost, but agility is how fast can we bounce back once we hit an obstacle. So I think being agile, having contingencies, that is the best way to overcome. there is not one clear answer. I've seen organizations, because I advise different organizations, I've seen organizations deal with it differently. Each one is able to bounce back in their own time. But I think the biggest failure is not to do anything and to just stop and say, times are difficult. Try to be more agile, be more proactive in order to, this is unprecedented times, unfortunately, in the most negative way, but it is something that we need to deal with. Abir.
Yeah. For me or for our organization, it was to have more advanced technology, because we see the life before a global pandemic and the life after. So we need also, it was like to focus on efficiency and effectiveness of our procurement activities, because now we are, when we were at coronaviruses, so it was, we need things done. But we have a very limited things. So we have changed a lot of things regarding our technology. So we procured like advanced technology for our company to make our life easy. But yeah, it was challenging.
Yeah, indeed. It was very, very challenging time. Finally, COVID is over and we getting to normal, even our supply chain hoping. It will be new model, new life, new norm, even with supply chain. But yeah, praying for it. Okay, the last question, what piece of advice, we have now a group of people that call themselves midway or mid-career, they want your advice in the field of procurement? The mid-career, like 7 to 10 years experience people.
Yeah. My main advice to them, to make diversity in their procurement field. So for them, I would like to encourage them not to do like to procure just IT equipment, for example. Make diversity and different things. Go for health supplies, go for building and construction, go for soft components. All of these areas will give you incredible competencies and capabilities in procurement and supply chain. Because here in Palestine, most of people think of procurement as like only goods. No, procurement is not goods. We have procurement of goods, service, works. Each type of procurement has its own specialty, its own requirements. So make sure to make your procurement career journey is diverse and multi-skilled. So when you have all of these multi-skilled, I'm sure after a couple of years, let's say after 20 years, you will be like as a CEO of the company, or you will have your own business, actually.
I would say also, please, there is a huge role in training and education. Get yourself in trainings. It doesn't have to be paid. There's so many great resources. Read, get yourself up to speed. There's so many white papers in the CIPS website. There's so many, like even webinars that they keep doing over and over. Listen to different experts. Even if you don't get a chance to do the rotation internally, keep educating yourself, reading, forming an idea, a strategy, an ethos of what do you think procurement is.
Very great advice. I'm getting this as well. I'm especially from Abir. I'm trying to diverse my experience as well, because when you work in one field for a long period, it's like it will be a routine. Procurement is like an ocean, like so much experience you can explore in this field. Thank you for advice, Abir. Thank you for advice, Fatima. Thank you for joining us today and having this webinar. Hoping everyone get the benefit of it. And thank you everyone for joining us today. And we received so many questions. We apologize if we couldn't answer all of these questions, and we welcome you anytime to ask us anytime in our email, CIPS email, CIPS website. Again, thank you for your time today. And this is the end of the webinar. And we look forward to meeting you in other webinar in future.
Thank you, Asma.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you all.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.